This is going to be for removing the task, because we need to display the task or we need to remove the task. And for that, we guys have created, or we guys have brought both that to-do form and to-do list inside this main div where it has been called. So this is like opening of add task and closing of the add task, and as well as the remove task or etc. So to-do form and to-do list. So we guys have opened it and we guys have closed at that same line itself. That's what it will do is it will call this component by passing these as a functions, like add task and remove task as a function. So that's what we have done. So while talking about the to-do form here, it is going to be really helpful for whenever you are clicking that on submit button, whatever the text which you are written in the text box, it is going to be printed, it is going to be displayed, or it is going to be moved into the next function like to-do list. So that's what this to-do form is. To-do form is going to have the text boxes and the submit button. So it is going to get the user input, and it is going to keep on updating the state with that user input, because it should not keep on refreshing the page. So that is where we guys have discussed about the React, the single page applications. I hope you all remember that. As same as like while talking about the to-do list, we guys have used to get each and every element as like a list, and we used to append it. So that's why that's how it really formed like this. Whenever you are really adding something, it is going to keep on appending. And whenever deleting, that is going to be deleted and it is going to be, adjusted itself. This was the simple application we guys have explored yesterday. Okay. So I hope you all ready for the today's session as well. So I hope you guys have got very good clarity on the yesterday's project. So while talking about the first thing, I've really made this amazing content mind map, which is like going to give you the very good clarity on lot wide varieties of concept, which is like must know concept on a React. So that's what here which I have. So while talking about this, first of all, let us talk about the components. Just carefully watch. I've given you the simple line by line explanation, guys. Up to this date, I've given you a lot of materials. Don't just simply execute my code and got the output. Okay, I learned that stuff. No, it is not a right way. Go and read the documentation which I've given you. Each and every documentation is not like a 10 sentence or paragraph kind of thing. It is all very precise content. And also, please go and practice in a real time by searching in the documentation and with the help of online platforms. Okay. So first of all, while talking about the components, it is the building block of the React application. So they allow you to split the UI into independent reusable pieces. So when we have explored that, even this project, we guys have made this as separate component. So this part as a to-do form, and the list which is going to be printed here, this is going to be your to-do list. So likewise, you can able to split up as an individual component. That's what the component is. And for each and every concept, I've given you the clear example. Look how that. Think of a new news website where each news article, the search bar and the sidebar, listing categories are all going to be individual components. So if you are really changing at one place, it is going to be changed in all the places. Where if that sidebar is executed in the which has been executed in a lot of places, means it is going to be changed around a lot of places. That's what the components is. And while talking about the JSX, as I've already told you, whenever you are writing the HTML kind of script inside the Java, inside the JavaScript, that is not a HTML, that is going to be a JavaScript XML. So in to-do list app, a JSX script snippet can define the structure of a to-do item, including checkbox and delete buttons. Even you can just see this. Okay, so here inside this JavaScript code, here we guys have used the underline tags and list tags and even button tags. So that is known as the JSX. And while talking about the properties, it is nothing but the props. It is nothing but the properties. Okay, in an e-commerce stores, product details. For an example, if you are really having any product in the Pantex Solutions website, just check out the Pantex Solutions website. If you are really seeing any, the products, any products, this is an e-commerce website, right? So whenever you're talking about it is an e-commerce website. So here, the embedded and IoT starter kit is a product. Okay, in an e-commerce store, product details such as name, price can be passed as a props for the product list component to each product item component. What does it mean? So this embedded and IoT starter kit, which is having one of the property like 10,000 is its price. 20,000 is the actual price and 10,000 is the offer price. And delivery time is the another property. And category is the another property. Tags might be another property. So likewise, you can able to bind its props with the title called embedded and IoT starter kit. That's known as a props. It's easy, right? It's going good, right? Easy with the real life examples. And while talking about the state, that's what we are going to explore very in detail today. So simply, in a social media app, the state might keep track of whether the user detailed profile information is visible or not. So whatever, we have our profile information, right? So that is the state. Okay, whenever you are really keep on scrolling, it is going to show you the relevant data which has been relevant to that specific user. So that's what the state, we are going to see very in-depth examples. And also while talking about the lifetime method, it's very simple. In a video streaming app, for an example, Netflix or anything, you might use a component dead mount to fetch and display a list of videos when the component is first rendered. For an example, you have a component like in the Netflix, the popular on Netflix, that is a rack of 10 plus movies which is going to be shown. So that kind of each and every video of that certain movie which is going to be formed as like a rack to render it, okay, from the component. That's what the life cycle methods. And another very important thing which is about hooks. So in a chat application means like WhatsApp or something, okay, just consider as like a WhatsApp. In a chat application, the use state hook could manage the current message text, and the use effect hook could handle the fetching message when the component loads. So there is going to be a component is going to be loaded. There is a two state here. They have, there I've just dropped it here. So when is a use state hook? Use state hook is going to manage the current message text, okay, whatever the message is there. And use effect hook, which is going to handle the new message which is getting uploaded. So it is going to keep on appending. That's going to be done with the help of the hooks. And Cortex API, so we are going to see that, but just for an example, in a multi-language website, because whenever you are really seeing websites, sometimes you'll be going and choosing the country. So whole complete website is going to be changing for that certain language, right? Chinese. So that kind of language, they used to have always in Chinese. So sometimes if they're really giving it for in English, you will be changing it as in English, right? So that's what. So in a multi-language site, the context API can be used to manage the current language setting, allowing any component to access and render the text in the selected language. Okay, is it clear? So in a multi-language website, the context API is going to be helpful for managing the current language setting. So whenever some different language which is going to be chosen, so it is going to be changed on all the content which is present in the certain component. Okay, component is going to access that, right? So that is going to be context API. And conditional rendering. Conditional rendering is very simple. On a login page, so for example, if you are going to log in a Netflix or even panicsolutions.net or panic.ai, so on a login page, display a login form if the user is not logged in, or a logged out button if they are. It's very simple, right? So for example, if you are already logged into a Netflix, it should show the sign out option. Okay. If they haven't signed in, it should show the sign in button, right? Is it clear? Okay. If it is amazingly clear, you just post AG in your comment. So that's what the thing. So whenever you are logging into the Amazon, so here, once you have logged in, it is going to show the logout button. Once you have already logged out, it will show you the sign in button. So that can be done with the help of this conditional rendering. So based on your sign in state, if you have already signed in, it should show the logout. If you have logged out, it is going to show the sign in. So that can be done with the help of conditional rendering. And list and keys. In an email client, each email can be component and the key could be the unique ID of each email ID. Like for an example, like if you are talking about the email thing, so on that email, so the information which you are giving into the site, so in each and every email, if it is considered as like a component, and the key could be for each and every email ID, it is going to have some unique ID. So that is going to be as a key. So that's what the list and keys. And while talking about the fragments in a component, that returns multiple elements. Okay, in a single component, if it is going to return the multiple elements, fragments helps you to wrap these elements without adding unnecessary div. You just imagine if you are really having only one component, but inside that only one component, what if a lot of information is going to be shown, lot of content is going to be displayed based on the certain conditions. If it is there, to wrap everything together inside a single div instead of creating multiple div for each and every element which is present in the component, so we can able to do it with the help of the fragments. And high order components, it's very interesting. So in an application with user authentication, like you will be creating an account, right? So Sanjay Kumar at sanjay@panicmail.com, something like that, right? So in an application with a user authentication, and HOC can be used to protect certain routes by redirecting a non-logged in user to the login page. So whenever you are, whenever you are really surfing in the website, so if you have a login in person, then you are going to navigate in different type of places. So that is going to be different than the people who are all using without login. Okay, and also if you are a logged in person, so based on your history or based on your past visited page or anything, so based on the login thing, so it is going to be navigating to a certain page or something like that. Because even if you are really checking out some of the website, they'll be having the login. Only the people who have a account, you can able to visit the whole complete website. Otherwise, it is going to be blurred. So that is also can be done. So in an application with a user authentication, and Hawk can be used to protect certain routes by redirecting a non-logged in user to the login page. So whenever you are not logged in, so it is going to show some blurring, and it is going to show like you need to log in, so then only you can able to see the content. So yeah, that's also can be done. And while talking about the portals, in the model dialog box, I hope you all remember the model dialog box where we guys have did that pop-up, right? In our personal website, when the people are clicking that no more button, some pop-up need to be opened where it is showing all the projects, right? That's what the model dialog box. So in the model dialog box implementation, portals can be used to render the model outside the app's root DOM node to avoid CSS overflow issues. Yes, even we guys have faced the CSS overflow issues, especially yes, in the content as well. So to avoid those things can be done with help of these portals. Okay, portal provide a way to render children into a DOM node that exists outside the DOM hierarchy of the parent component. Because while talking about the DOM, we guys have already discussed about that parent and child, right? So that can be easily solved. Like the CSS overflow issues can be solved easily with the help of this portals. Okay, guys, I hope you really got a very good clarity on a lot of very important concept on React. Even though I've given the clear example, please go and refer it because these are all the questions which is going to be definitely asked in your interviews. Okay, definitely they'll be asking about what is meant by the conditional rendering, where you will use, what is meant by fragments, what is meant by Hawk. So likewise, you might get a lot of questions. So please go and refer it. I hope it really gave you a very good clarity about it, right? So, and then right now we'll discuss about the state management in detail. As we have already discussed, the state management is essential to handle data that changes over time. What does it mean? You have a website. If you have logged in, that is going to display different thing. If you haven't logged in, it is going to show you the different thing. So state management is the content which is present in the website. It is going to be changing based on a certain condition or based on over a time. So that's what the thing. So enabling the user interface to react dynamically. In a complex application, managing state properly ensures that data flows seamlessly across the app without causing bugs or performance issues. So even if you are really hovering Netflix or anything, so the state management is going to be really, really helpful to keep on recording whether you are logged in user or logged out person. So likewise, a lot of things. Even you can just check it out, the real life example. In a real-time messaging app, state management keeps track of messages, user status, and notification efficiently. I hope you now, right now, instead of seeing this precise content, if you are seeing this content, you might got some clear clarity about what is that state management. So if you are really scrolling, WhatsApp or Telegram, so this state management is going to keep a track of messages. So what are all the messages which has been sent by the certain person, or what is the current user status, or the notification. So how much notification came from which person. So that complete tracking can be done with the help of the state management. Even I've given you the second example. Consider the blogging platform. So where you will be writing a blog, right? So where state management helps keeps track of user authentication, post, comment, and like status across the various components. So whenever you just imagine I'm going to allow all you people to write the blog post in our Pantex Solutions website. So you will be given an individual login for you. So this, with the help of the state management, we can able to keep track on like which person written something, and which person have given the like, which person reacted to a certain post, which person done the comment. So that kind of complete tracking can be done with the help of state management. So I hope you have got a very good clarity on the state management. I hope you all really understood what is the importance of learning state management. And while talking about the state management, there are two things. One is local state and another one is a global state. I've also given the live examples. While talking about the local state, a toggle switch that controls whether an individual post is displayed in full or summary form. For an example, if you are visiting, if you are visiting warriorsway.in website, okay, if you are really visiting the warriorsway.in website, if you are really scrolling down, you can see there are some blogs which is going to be shown for you. Okay, look at that. So here, generative AI types and how to generate website using Wix ADI, how to create AI-based web application using OpenAI, Instagram description, and hashtag. So likewise, I've written some blog. So here, there is a read mode button, right? So that is what here is this been described. A toggle switch that controls whether an information post is displayed in a full or summary form. So here the message is being shown in the summary form, right? So if it is going to print display all the blog description, definitely it is not going to be enough here. So here, this content which is having the read mode toggle read mode option, whenever you are clicking the read mode option, it is going to navigate to the complete blog post. So that that option, so that toggle button which if you are really creating it, that can be done with the help of this local state. Whereas while talking about the global state, user login status that needs to be accessible across various components to tailor the UI permission. It's very simple. You just imagine. So if you are really visiting, Netflix, okay, whenever you are really visiting a Netflix, so here we have logged in, okay. So here we have logged in a certain account. So some certain account, it has been already logged in. Even though you have logged in, even though you have gone for this movie or any movie, so that need to be updated. Even I'm clicking this, so that that user which it got already logged in, it is going to be match. It should match it with this page as well. Even though we are visiting at different pages, so it should show, or it should keep on having a link between each and every individual component which is present in the complete website. That's what the global state management. So while talking about the global state, here you have created an account and you are present inside as a user. So if you are really considering Sanjay is a user of the Netflix account, even though you have going through a Spider-Man movie or Iron Man movie or any other movie, so even though you are going for that page, okay, that component I'm talking about, like movie component or preview component, that user need to be tracked on, because it is going to be linked, because on the time it should not show you should log in again to see the next page. No. So that thing can be done with the help of the global state example. Guys, I really know it's going somewhat theoretical, but by seeing real life examples, you should not forget these concepts. So anyhow, I'm going to show you the project as well. I've written the line by line comments for you for your later references. So definitely it is going to be really helpful. So while talking about this, this state management, there are two approach out there. So one is context API and second one is a Redux API. So while talking about the context API, which is the React's built-in feature, so that is going to enable you to share state across the entire application or between the multiple components without passing the props manually at the entry level. So you don't want to pass each and every property in the entry level. Instead, the whole complete state is going to be shared across the entire application or between the certain components. So that's what context API is. Whereas we are talking about the Redux, which provides a predictable state container for JavaScript apps, making state mutation manageable through a strict workflow involving action and reducers. Definitely, I'll show you a real life examples, then you'll understand it clearly. While saying about the context API example, create a theme context to manage light and dark modes across all the components of an application. So even you have visited your personal website, right? We have created one personal website. On that website, we guys have clicked the dark mode and light mode icon. When we have clicked that, it really affected all the section, right? At the same time, create a theme context to manage light or dark modes across all the components of an application. That can be done with the help of context API. So when that state, which is gonna be sharing throughout the whole complete application, or that state is gonna be shared to the specific individual component, that can be done with the help of context API. So whereas if you're talking about the example on Redux, bit advanced. If you are talking about the e-commerce website, so this is the e-commerce website. Here add to cart is there. Look how that. So I'm just going to click and add to cart. So whenever you are clicked and add to cart, it is navigated into this add to cart page. So it is been matching with the user. If there is any user login or something, so that is going to be matching it with the user. So that's what the thing. A shopping cart where actions include adding or removing items. So here we have a shopping cart. Here adding or removing items. You can remove it here, right? So you can just click like and you can update cart. So adding or removing items. Reducers manage the state of the cart. So what is the state of the cart? So reducers, guys, just carefully watch the reducers, what it is really doing, because in our source code, we guys have used the reducers. Please make sure you are really using that. You are really knowing about it. So reducers manage the state of the cart. So it is going to manage the state. So for an example, here it is a zero quantity, and if you are really updating, that's it. Okay, there is not going to be anything. So your cart is empty. Okay, so reducers manage the state of the cart, and stores hold. Actually, here there are a lot of main factors or main keywords. Just carefully watch. Reducers is one of the keyword here, and store is also another keyword. So shopping cart where actions include like adding of an element or removing an item. Okay, and reducers manage the state of the cart, and store holds the current state of the cart across the sections. So even right now my cart is empty, even though you are going for the different sections, different component, even though you are navigating, still the cart is gonna be as empty, because look how that it is zero, right? Look how that at the top, the cart is zero. But even though whenever if you are click that add to cart, so this product is going to be added as a cart. So it is number one. And even though you are really navigating into a certain another product or something, so it is needed to be maintained. But here it is not maintained. Okay, it is maintained. Okay, whenever we have navigated this page, so it maintained, because it is going to keep on recording that. Look how that preview which has been showing, it is 10,000. It is in the chart in the cart, like checkout view on. So that can be that kind of advanced state management can be done with the help of Redux. Okay, simple state management can be done with the help of this context API. Definitely, I'll be showing you pros and cons as well. And there are a lot of advanced technique to use on context API, and also in the Redux that also I've given you, and also the detailed explanation on the pros and cons. While talking about the pros and cons, while talking about the pros of context API, simplicity and ease of use, and performance and flexibility. These are the three pros of context API. And while talking about 3 to 4 pros of Redux, manageability, middleware, and enhancers. Just see this middleware and enhancers. That's a very important thing. So which supports middleware and store enhancers, which are great for handling complex synchronous logic, asynchronous data fetching, logging, and more. That's what the cart which we have talked about. So whenever, even though you have added a cart at the single shot, whenever you are really navigating into the multiple pages, it is going to keep on updating. It is going to keep on tracking of that cart items and etc. So that is going to be done with the help of this Redux. And developer tools, it is having a lot of developer tools which we need to install. I'll show you how to install that. And community and ecosystem also, it is really high because it is very advanced. That's why Redux is also there. And while talking about the cons of context API, the scalability, because it is suitable for small applications. So scalability might be somewhat difficult on context API, because it might not be efficient for global state management in larger application, as it can lead to perform issues due to unnecessary re-renders. So that's why that kind of complex applications like Amazon cards, checkouts, that pages, this Redux is going to be used. But simply a dark mode, light mode, that tracking can be done with the help of this context API. And limited middleware support, because only the Redux is going to support the middleware support, whereas the context API won't. So unlike the Redux, it doesn't support the middleware out of the box. making it less suitable for handling complex state transformation or asynchronous action. But it is going to be supported in some prompts for the Redux. And while talking about the cons of the Redux, complexity, yes. So even though you are really working with simple project, it might be looking somewhat bigger, where it is going to be a little bit complex. And learning curve, definitely we need a very deep knowledge to work on the Redux. And overhead, like, can introduce unnecessary complexity and overhead in small to medium size application. Yes, because there are a lot of complexity out there. Even when I'm going to show you the code, you'll understand that. So that's what the difference between the context API and Redux. I hope you have got a clear idea. So yeah, within a few minutes, we are going to jump into the hands-on, guys. Be ready for it. So while talking about the comparing context API and Redux, so when you should use the context API, the project, if it is very small and moderate in size, the state management need a simple, without a complex logic, you'll be using this context API. You prefer a quick setup without external dependencies, because context API, which is defaultly available. So that's why if you really want to do a quick setup, that can be done with the help of context API. Whereas while talking about the Redux, when the application is large with many moving parts and state that needs to be accessed across the multiple levels of components, this Redux is going to be used. And also, if you really wanted to add the features in your websites like logging, crash reporting, for an example, suddenly if the website has been crashed, you need to report what are all the problem there. So that is going to be done. And talking to asynchronous API, so that all can be done with the help of when the Redux can be used. And state operations are complex, needing a robust system to manage them. Whenever the systems are very complex, which is having the cards and e-commerce kind of thing, you'll be using Redux. So that's what the clear explanation about it. And there are a lot of alternative libraries out there. So libraries like Mobex, Susdan, and Recoil. So there are a lot of approaches out there to do state management. So right now, we'll jump on to the demo. So are you ready? So if you are ready, you just post ready in your live chat. Okay. So first of all, while talking about the demo, I have done this two things as a two project. So the same project, guys, don't worry. It is the same project because I don't want to confuse you by showing you a lot of different project for the same type of application. So that's why what I did is I've used the same project. Look how that in the 11th, if you are really navigating into the source code, here I have two project directory. One is task manager -context, which it used the context API, and this -redux use the Redux. Okay, hope you are clear. That's what the two state management. This is state management 1 and state management 2. State management 1 is context API and state management 2 is Redux. Same project, but we guys have did it with the help of two approach. Okay, one is context API and another one is a Redux. So let me open it. Show more option. Open with code. Yeah. So to do that, I've given you the detailed procedure for you as well. So I've given you the detailed procedure. If you really want me to show that, okay, I can show you. So what is the thing is, yeah, I have given you the detailed procedure. How can I proceed with install, Redux setup and state management setup? Context API setup. So what I'm going to do is, let me show a little demo. I already done that, guys, but just for demo, I'm going to do that for you. Okay, I'm going to give the name like demo live. Okay, this is the folder. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going for my Visual Studio Code. So okay, let me open the folder. Okay, so this is what the fresh folder I am. So here I don't have anything. So let me show you how to create those things. So first of all, I hope you all know how to create the React app. So to create the React app, the procedure is same. Okay, so the same procedure, npx create React app. If we have used that CRA, task manager -context, with the help of that, we are going to create the application. Same procedure, okay, for this or for this. But here we need to additionally install the one toolkit called Redux.js -toolkit. I hope you already know this. So that's why let me show you this. Okay, first of all, what you are going to do is I'm going to create one thing. For that, first of all, open a terminal. So once you have opened the terminal, just give the command like npx space CRA, which is create-react-a app, and the name for your project. Okay, don't think like Sanjay, you have given some new command, I want to remember that. No, it is all just a name, okay, for my application. So whenever you are hitting enter, it will create the React application in my, in my Visual Studio Code. And here it really requires some packages. So that material icon, even I've given the clear explanation about each and every icon or library we guys have used. So first of all, we guys have used the Redux toolkit. What is the purpose of it? So that's which has been explained clearly. So this is the official and batteries included tool set for efficient Redux development. Whenever if you really want to develop the Redux application, Redux based application, you need that Redux toolkit. It is intended to be a standard way to write Redux logic, helping to reduce the boilerplate code and simplifying the use of the Redux with the built-in best practices. So that's where we guys have done. And it is going to provide the utility of simplify the common Redux patterns and enhance the Redux configuration. And is also going to help manage the global state of the application. As I've already told you, the global state can be very goodly managed by the Redux instead of context API. That's what that Redux toolkit library is needed for. Yes, still it's installing. And React Redux. So in this, actually, if you have clearly noticed, here we have installed multiple libraries. So one is @ with Redux /toolkit, and another one is a React Redux, and then @MUI material, and then MUI icons material, and @emotion or React, and then emotion or styles. So while talking about that, I would like to tell you another very important thing. Here you might ask one question, Sanjay, sometimes there is a symbol in this package installation, but look out that here there is a symbol. Here there is a symbol. Here add symbol. But for the React-Redux, there is no symbol. So that's why I really wanted to show you this as well, scoped package and unscoped package. Scoped package means whenever it is having that symbol in the package name, like Redux /toolkit or MUI material, indicates that package is a part of the scoped package in the NPM Node.js itself. Whenever it is with that Node.js package manager, then that is said to be, scoped packages when you need to use the, symbol. But whenever you don't have that symbol before that, package, so like React-Redux or regular unscoped packages. So I've given that explanation as well. So these are all public packages with the names that are unique across NPM. Any NPM user can publish an unscoped package, provided the name is not already taken. Yeah, so you can just use it. Okay, so that's why I've given you that explanation. And what the material will do. So material is going to give you the Google's materials design. I think we guys have already discussed on the previous session, which is going to be helpful for enhancing the visual effects and also icon material. Because if you really wanted to include those icons, like provide icons that can be directly used in a material UI project, ensuring design consistency, and emotion React and emotion style, which is going to be CSS styles directly within your React components using the CSS in JavaScript approach. And here we have emotion style provided styled component interface for defining the component specific styles. It is useful for theming and can be used to dynamically change the styles based on the props or global themes. So you don't want to write those CSS. Instead, you can simply import that theme packages so that you can make use of it. So right now, I think it already created the pack. Oh my God, still it is creating. Yeah, so let it create. Okay, so first of all, it is creating the React application by using a normal syntax. So look how that it created one folder, the source folder, same as like yesterday we guys have explored that, right? So inside the source folder, it is gonna have app.css, app.js. The very important files are app.js and index.js. And if you need a component, you need to create the component folder. Inside that, you need to create all the files. And if you want to execute this React application, first of all, go into the folder, because since we are not inside the folder, first of all, go into the folder by typing cd space dot redux. Wait a minute, let me. Yeah. So first of all, you just execute that cd dot slash task manager redux and just hit enter. So once you have gone into this, so you can just simply type, node space. You can just simply type npm space start. Okay. So whenever you are starting, so that's it. It is going to, okay, would you run low? Okay, another port. Okay. So let me press Y and then enter. So it is going to keep on running this. And even look out that some of the packages is getting some depreciation. Okay, that we need to check it out. Okay, anyhow, it is running right now. So let us wait. Okay. Yes. Webpack compiled successfully. So yeah, look out that my React application is started. Here we are not doing anything with like, React, context API or Redux or something. Just we guys have created an application. So for that application, inside that, you're going to write the code optimized for the optimized for the specific need. So for that, you need this library called this one. So npm install, the packages such as like redux.js/toolkit, react-redux, MUI material, MUI icon material, emotion react, emotion style. That's what the icon we needed. So that's what the packages we needed to really have that packages in our system. First of all, go inside the folder, guys. Never ever forget to go inside the folder. Don't create the don't install those packages outside the folder. Go inside the folder and install this package by hitting enter. Okay, whenever you're hitting enter, so those packages which is required to use Redux in our project, that's going to be installed here. As same as like, just come like this and go into this demo and create another React application for this first one. Okay, so like this one, context API. For the context API, so likewise I've created one application, and for that, what are all the icons it require, what are all the packages it required, you guys have installed it. And the same thing, the code which I have, you make use of it. Okay, so yes, it's going to install this package. Okay, it's installing actually already. Okay, so yes, before that, yeah, this is to-do list. Okay, this is actually an old to-do list. Let me close it. Okay, so what we can do is, so first of all, we can just open our source code directory. So here I have two files, Task Manager Context and Task Manager Redux. These are all two applications which will exactly do the same thing, but we guys have tried to use a different approach. One is using a context API, another one is using a Redux. So that's what we guys have did. So now let me close all the program. Okay. Yeah, it's still installing. Okay. Another very important thing, before seeing this project source code, I want you guys to check it out, the library called hide comments. Okay, please go and check it out, because whenever you are seeing my code right now, which I've given the line by line explanation, you might think that is, oh my God, the program is big. So that's why you can install this hide comment. When you require, you can use it. When you don't require, you can just disable it. So what does it mean is, let me show you first. So first of all, let us explore the project number 1, which is on the project is on context API. So if you are clearly noticing the hierarchy, I mean the directory which is really shown here. Just carefully watch. Inside the source is default. Inside the source, I have created two folder. One folder is component. Inside that component, we have task.js and taskform.js and tasklist.js. So likewise, we have created three files. And then I've created another folder called context.js because that's where, the context, the information which is going to be displayed. So that context.js has also been added. And then very important files are app.js and index.js. So these are all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 source code. So out of the 6 source code, 3 source code are for components. And another one is for context. And these 2 for main thing. Okay, that's it. Okay, hope you are clear with this. So right now, let me show you this. When you have installed, that extension, so at the top, you can see some icon which is going to be there. So you can just click that. So once you have clicked that, ta-da! So all the comments is going to be, hidden. Okay, so the code is going to be really looking simple. So first of all, let us explore one by one code first. The first code which we are having is index.js. That's the very important code which is going to hold on all of our information. So while talking about the index.js, first of all, we have imported the React, and then we guys have imported the React DOM, and then we guys have imported, the same index.css if you really going to design something. And app program, app is the very important thing that also we have imported. And UI underscore material because we really want to show the design. First of all, I would like to show you the design. So cd space task manager context. So npm space start. Okay, so here we have imported all the required libraries, which is all present in our different individual folders, and React DOM render. So it is going to keep on rendering the DOM. So inside the DOM, first of all, we guys have used this, CSS baseline. And first important thing is app. App is the app.js which we have already imported. So import app is the name. So that's what it is going to get imported. So now we are seeing the comments carefully. I've given you the line by line explanation. So wrap the application with React strict mode, a tool for highlighting potential problem in an application. In an application, if there is any very important problems, so that is going to be highlighted. So guys, yes, it's opening. Localhost 3000. First, just see the output, how the UI is really looking like. Okay, then you'll understand it clearly. Look how that. This is what the thing. So that's what the Google look, okay, the Google form design, that theme which is got from the MUI materials, okay. And here the document.get element by ID root, okay, that's based on the root. We are going to fetch that information inside this. Even I've given you the line by line explanation, just go through it. So render the app component, which includes all the components of the application, because we are going to render the app, because app is the very important program file which it has all the information about it. So now let me disable the comment again. Just see that we have imported the React library, and then we have imported the task content, task context from the context folder, and task form from the component folder, task list from the component folder, and we guys have imported CSS baseline, container, typography, all from the same theme. Okay, so it's not like changing the font in our style and changing the container in our style. No, everything from the same Google theme. So okay, that's what the MUI material which has been imported. And inside the function app, the very important thing is, the first thing which we have is the task provider. So wrap the entire application within the task provider to provide task context to all the child components. So, and then here we have the container. So that's where all the, information which is going to be dropped. And the first information is like the task manager text. So this is what the task manager text, which is got printed. So which is got printed here. And typography, which is on this style, because in the heading 2, and alignment center, because even though you are choosing this MUI material, so we need to show something individually, right? It is a heading, it is a paragraph or something. So that's why the heading which has been shown as like h2 tag, and I'll align as a center. And after that, we guys have imported the task form open close. Actually, what is the thing is, it is gonna be equals, it is gonna be equals to, okay. So what it means is like this, okay, task form, open tag, okay, task form open tag and task form close tag. So this is equals to this, okay. So we have written in a single word by putting task form at the first and backslash at last. So it is equals to this, guys. And here you might have noticed something. Sanjay, when you are writing a comment, you have written the comment by putting 2 backslashes for the comment. But here you have used a different approach to write the comment. Why? Because since it is not a simple JavaScript code, it is JSX. As you have already know, whenever you are writing the HTML tags, that script inside the JavaScript, so that is going to be called as, JSX, which is JavaScript XML. So in this JavaScript XML, even though you are using, let me show you the live proof. Even though you are writing double slash and whatever the text which you are writing, so it is not going to be considered as a comment. It is going to consider as a program. So that's why whenever you are writing the code in a JSX, please use this curly braces. Inside the curly braces, use this type of syntax to write as like a comment. Okay, don't use backslash even. So write in this way, so that this is going to be commented. This is not going to be executed. Even whatever the stuff which you are typing here, it is not going to be executed. Still, it is going to be compiling it successfully. So first of all, we have closed the task form, and then we guys have called the task list. Why? Because the first thing need to be as a task form, and then only it is going to be a task list. Even you can consider like, let me try. Let me cut it. Let me come here and let me paste it. Okay, it's same. Okay, so other than that, here we have this task form and task list. And then here we have a container close and task provider close. Everything is being closed. Finally, we need to export the default application. So everything has been did clearly. So what is that task form is? So it is going to be navigated into the task form. And in the task form, if you are really navigating it, okay, task context is the first thing it got imported. So now let us jump into the task context. So in the task context, first of all, always whenever you're seeing the program, first disable the comment so that you can see the programs are very, very simple. Just go through that and then just enable it. Okay, just if you are really enabling it right now, just see here, I've given you the line by line explanation. Whenever you're talking about this thing, use state, we guys have already explored this. Initialize the task state as an empty array and set task as the function to update the state, because each and every time, so it is that context is going to be keep on updating, because whenever you are adding the task, it is going to be keep on appending next by as a sequential order. So whenever you're deleting it, it is going to be keep on deleting continuously. So that's what the add task section, which is present there. So, and here we have a delete task function. So define the delete task function, which takes a task ID as an argument. So here which takes a task object as an argument. So because we are going to keep on deleting the certain task based on its ID, and update the task state by filtering out the task within the given ID. So based on that, whenever they're clicking the delete button, so respective the task which is going to be deleted whenever they're clicking the delete button. So that's what the thing. And on the return, how it need to be rendered. Okay, that's what it has been printed. Context, task context dot provider value is equals to task comma add task comma delete task, because that's how it has been printed, right? And then it's children. Okay, so here we have its children, so which is going to be rendered, because while talking about this, allow all child components within the provider to access the task state and functions. So whatever the task which is getting added, it is going to be keep on adding as like a children's. Okay, all the tasks are children's kind of thing. So that's what the task context.js, which is also present here. And if you are really exploring, task context is here. And here we have this one. Okay, first of all, let us check it out. Okay, index.css. And in this app here, we guys have imported the task form and task.list. And here we have this task form.js. So while talking about the task form.js, same as like we guys have explored yesterday. So what is the thing is, the first thing it really requires user use state to create the title state for storing the input from the user. First of all, it should be empty and it is going to be start getting the information from the user. Okay, that's the first thing. And add task. Okay, here there is an add task button, so which is going to be helpful for adding each and every task sequentially. So first of all, here we guys have used, guys, very important thing, define handle submit function that will be called on the submission. So what it will prevent, so because e.prevent default, what does it mean is, whenever you are adding some task, look how that, so which is like image design. So whenever I'm hitting enter, the page is not getting refreshed. Video edit. You know, that's what the thing. So instead of it really using the default methodology of refreshing the page again and again, we guys have used this prevent default. So prevent the default from submission behavior, which typically refresh the page, because whenever you are using a button, whenever you are clicking the button, that will automatically refresh the page. So that's why to avoid that, we guys have used that e.prevent default to avoid the page refreshing. And title.rem check if the title is not in a white space, not just in a white space. So it's needed for the responsive. And call the add task function from the context to add a new task within the current title. So because whenever some information, whenever you are adding for the current information for current the title which you are giving, it is going to keep on adding it. Okay, that's going to be added. And say title, reset the title to empty, because once you have hit enter, because whenever you are typing, whenever you're hitting enter, again, this text which you are written here, it should be empty. That's what the set title is, empty. And what it is going to return is render form with a submit event handler. So while talking about submit event handler, how it really going to looks like, because the first thing which is going to have a text field, here we have a label. So what is the label is? New task is the label. And what is the variant? Outline. The text field has an outlined style. So which is going to have that outlined style, which is like this. Okay, that's what that the thing. And value is equals to title. So what is the information which you are typing? That is going to be passed into as an argument. And here dot target dot values. So update the title state on every keystroke in the field text field. So whenever you are typing it, so it is going to be keep on updating like this. Okay, so that's what the thing. And full width. So it is going to be occupy the whole complete width. And what is the style? What is the margin of it? So whenever you are really adding the CSS props into it, so style is equals to, we guys have used the double curly braces, margin colon 10. So we guys have passed that CSS property into it. And then we have created a button. That button name is submit button. Color is a primary color and variant is contained. So it is going to be on that specific place. And for that button, we guys have written the text like add task. That's what it has been written. So that's what is all about task form.js design is all about. This complete section. You know, this complete section, which has been done with the help of that task form. So even, wait a minute. Okay, just look at that. So whenever you are really navigating into this thing, this is what that container, okay, the form style. So whenever you're clicking that, you can see inside that form style, here we have the div class. So first div class and second div class is a button. Actually, first is a div class. So if you are really opening it, inside that, how the label is being printed. And the second class, which is going to be the outline border and everything. And the third thing, which is going to be a button. So that is how it has been automatically returned. Okay, add task and span class. You know, so if you really wanted to inspect and check how that HTML will be formed, so you can just go and inspect and check it out. And then task list.js. So on this task list.js, first of all, it really imported the task. So what is that task.js lies? This component represents a single task item. Guys, this, okay, just carefully watch. Here all the list, I mean image design first, video edit second, dash third, and ASDS is a fourth. So likewise, we have added the fourth task. So that 4 task list, we have created one component like task list.js. But this one thing, which is having the title here and one delete icon here, with even when you're hovering, it is really highlighting, right? That thing which has been done in the task.js. Even in each and every program, I've given you the single line explanation. What does that code stand for? This task.js component will be standing for designing that single component. So look out that in the return, so list item. In the list item, first of all, it is going to have the task title, of course. So look out that task title is image design, video edit, dash. So that title and icon button. While talking about the icon button, that's what the delete icon, which is going to be there. On click, delete task. So whenever you are clicking that delete button, so it is going to pass as an argument like task ID, delete task, it is going to be called. So because we have already brought, so here we have already brought the task context from that, other additional files. So on click is equals to delete task ID and edge is equals to n. Align the button to end of the list items of every layout consistency, because it is going to keep on adding at last as a normal single line, right? That's what edge is equals to n. And area label is equal to delete, accessibly label for the button, because we have given some label for the button. So that's what the delete. And we guys have called the delete icon, open and then close, which has been already called from this function. And an icon button. So we have already closed that icon button, and list icon is also button. So it is for only one thing, one series. I mean the title and icon. So if you are writing the same thing in the HTML, what you will do, you will write a list tag, an icon tag, list tag, icon tag, list tag, icon tag. You will be copy pasting the code, copy paste, so that your number of code is going to be really, really huge. Instead, that specific section, we have designed it with the help of as a one component. So whenever you need the component, you can fetch it, but with a different data, because for that even, look out that, wait a minute, let me show you. Yeah, it's funny, right? Just look out that. So here, whenever I have added these many tasks, look out that there are a lot of huge task lists which I've added. So even though the task list is huge, my number of lines of program is not going to be changed. So that's where React is really playing its huge role, and DOM is also a very important thing here. So that's what we guys have did it in the task.js. And whenever you're navigating to task list.js, this is going to be the component display the list of the task. So whenever one by one list is getting added, it is going to be keep on appending on the next line, something like that. So list component from the material UI style to have a maximum width and centered automatically. So whenever the task list is going to be getting added, all the tasks needs to be self-aligned as a center, as a default first, and map over the task array to create the list of task components. So because we already have the task, so it is going to be keep on creating as like a, list, and task key is equal to task ID and task is equal to task. As I've already told you, so whenever it is getting added as a task, with the help of the ID only, it is going to be matching it with. If you are really deleting this delete button, this is going to be matching with this ASD. So that sequence, that certain specific task is going to be deleted. That's what we guys have did it from this task.list.js. Same as like we guys have did the Redux as well. So please go and refer the Redux. It is going to be one of your, some homework kind of activity. But this hierarchy is somewhat different, because in here, we guys have created additional folder called app folder. In the documentation, I've already clearly explained what is that store.js will do. So I've already added that. Just go and refer what it is doing. Store.js and components folder and features folder also we guys have added like stars slice.js, and how it has been referred, just go and refer it. I have given you the source code as well, so don't worry about it. And please install this hide command extension. So that's going to be really helpful for hiding and seeing the program properly if you really want it. So that's what this session is all about. So I hope you are clear. Even though I'm running the Redux application, it will be showing you the same output, because we have did the same project. Especially we guys have used the very important feature called the state management. But in the state management, there are two approaches. One approach is context API. Another approach is Redux approach. We guys have created the two projects using a two approach individually. And I've taught you how we can able to write the program to create the context API based state application. And here we have Redux based the same project, but e-commerce will try to do that because it is a very huge complex thing which is out there, because whenever you are really going to learn Redux itself, it really requires more time to learn the Redux. because you just imagine if it is an e-commerce website, there is a lot and tasks which is needed to be done on the Redux. So that's what is all about. Even in the add-ins, I've given this Visual Studio Code extension for you. So hide comments, which is like hide comments by Elio Storef or something. Okay, just go and check this out. So this is the PDF which I'll be sharing with you guys for the paid participants as well. So I hope you really enjoyed a lot. Okay, so that's what this today's session is all about. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed. So please go and practice. Practice is the key. Always remember, knowing and not doing is equal to not knowing. Go and practice. On the upcoming days, we'll also try to work parallelly on our Netflix as well. So because on the Netflix, we really need the state management and we need the database skills. So that's why I'm really waiting for. So definitely the Netflix is also going to be joined very soon. But before that, try to go through it. Please go and practice daily. Practice especially the JavaScript, because CSS and HTML, it is easy to learn. You can able to complete it very faster. You can sit for 1 week or simply you can just go through it and you can easily complete it. But JavaScript with the React, it is very huge. It is becoming huge. So that's why take more time, try to solve a lot of problems, go through any Instagram channels. There are a lot of people that are doing, giving you practices. So try to design something interactive, do as a task, and even record everything. Okay, create one mind map or create one GitHub repository. Try to add whatever the stuff which you are doing, or even create some YouTube shorts. Okay, that's a very good activity, because whenever you are teaching others, you will learn more. Okay, so you can just record a video and you can post it, so that that is going to be progressive. So make a money parallelly while you're learning. I hope you really love this idea. Go and do it. Because for example, if you are really learn the state management right now, take one simple program. For example, if you are really considering one part of the program, just take one part of the program and try to discuss that. What is that it will do? The unit state, I mean the state, what it will do. So likewise, try to cover that and try to make some video, and you can also post it there. So just try to work on that. That will really improve your practice a lot, and that will really improve your skill on that programming language. So please go and do it. I hope you really enjoyed. So thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for attending the session. So it's me, Sanjay, signing off. Until then, bye. We'll see you on the next session.